In Marseille, the Commandery still bears some traces of the incidents where several hundred Olympique de Marseille supporters, angry at the club management, have indeed carried out a real coup, causing clashes with the police forces, which led to the arrest of 25 people. In the aftermath of this violence, the tags and debris that littered the ground were cleaned, but the Marseille club woke up groggy, resulting in the postponement of the Ligue 1 encounter against Rennes. According to information from Europe 1, Basile Boli, a former legend of the club, was also called to the rescue by the leaders of Marseille to play a role of a mediator with the supporters. It all started when Olympique de Marseille head coach André Villas-Boas made the surprise announcement that he would leave the French outfit at the end of his current contract in the summer. The following day, Marseille Ultras invaded the training centre La Commandery to protest against the management and President Jacques-Henri Hérault in particular, accusing him of flouting the identity and culture of OM. 2 days later, the mayhem continued as AVB announced he had tendered his resignation and was waiting for the board's response. It was at a press conference in front of the cameras that the Portuguese tactician announced his imminent departure.
J'ai pris la décision de présenter ma démission à la direction, que maintenant, évidemment, par rapport à la quantité de matchs, n'a pas donné encore un feedback final. Je veux rien de l'OM.
The former Tottenham coach, who guided Marseille to Champions League qualification last season, reportedly left his post because of a badly managed winter transfer window. And if reports in the French media are to be believed, the 43-year-old coach was upset with the club's management following the transfer of Olivier Ntcham from the Scottish Premier League club Celtic on deadline day. According to The Sun, the main reason behind AVB leaving the managerial post was the refusal of the club's officials to respect his decision to recruit Manuel Lanzini from West Ham United instead of signing Ntcham.
J'ai regardé le site maintenant numéro 1 en France pour des informations de l'OM qui a transmettre l'arrivée d'un nouveau.
It was also reported that sporting director Pablo Longoria and Marseille president carried out the transfer of the player despite knowing that the coach wanted to sign Lanzini, who scored 21 goals ever since making a move from the United Arab Emirates club Al Jazeera in 2016. In anticipation of the departure of Florian Thauvin, who's yet to extend his contract that expires in June, Lanzini could have been an ideal replacement for the France international, but AVB was denied a chance by the senior management to reinvest the €20 million transfer fee they were getting from the sale of Sanson to Aston Villa on the 27-year-old Argentinian midfielder who would have brought some much-needed creativity in the midfield. OM are surely going through difficult times, and the link between the management of the Olympian club and the supporters seems definitively broken, be it the rumours of the sale and buyout of the club or the surprise resignation of the coach. The club president Hérault is the first one to be targeted by fans who want him to leave the club with immediate effect. Arriving in the summer of 2016 during the takeover by Frank McCourt, Hérault was quickly in the crosshairs of supporters for his controversial decisions and speeches. Moreover, his relationship has not always been good with Villas-Boas. The supporters didn't like Hérault's decision to sack Adil Rami on disciplinary grounds after the defender skipped training to appear on Fort Boyard. But above all, the truth is that the supporters don't like the fact that he's a Parisian. The supporters are now pressurizing the American owner McCourt to lay off Hérault and recruit a new president after the meeting at the training center between the different groups of supporters and OM players, according to RMC Sport. The club's American owner McCourt lent support to the club's president despite seeing hostile banners by the supporters in the city, mainly asking for the departure of Hérault, saying that he doesn't want to let go of his collaborator anytime soon. I will remain with the entire management of OM and its president, Jacques-Henri Hérault, who is doing everything in carrying out this project. We owe it to OM and its history, past, present and future, the Boston-born owner said in a statement. Sources in France had earlier reported that the sale of OM was on the cards, with the Kingdom Holding Company and the Saudi prince Al-Walid bin Talal interested in buying the French club for €480 million. However, McCourt has rebuffed such rumours of the club's possible takeover by a Saudi group in the near future. I also wonder about the origin of these repeated disinformation campaigns and wonder who benefits from these manipulations, he said in his press release. Nevertheless, President Hérault is still in office, to the great surprise of French commentator Pierre Ménès. During an interview with the YouTube channel La Team Barbet, Ménès passed on this message concerning the situation of Hérault. I don't understand he's still here. I have a hard time understanding how this guy works. Already I find it hard to understand how he can endure so much hatred towards the manager. Maybe he doesn't care. Maybe he feeds on that. I admit that I do not know. This guy is a puzzle to me. He's not a stupid man, but he's done too many things that are not right at this club. He fired Henri Bedimo because he's doing football training with Montpellier, like dismissing Adil Rami because he did Fort Boyard. It remains to be seen how long the president will be able to survive this difficult situation. The gap between the club's ownership and its supporters, which seems deeper than ever, has widened not only because of the club's management, but also due to the fact that their team is unable to perform on the pitch consistently. Marseille supporters are annoyed at the catastrophic start to the year for their team, and hostile banners are multiplying at the Velodrome following the team's poor performances on the pitch. The concern is growing among supporters who are still unsure if Marseille can finish in the top 5 following their inconsistent form. They're yet to register a single win since their 3-1 win against Montpellier on July 6, 2021. Having lost 4 of their last 5 games, the French Giants are currently on 9th spot with 33 points on the board. Although they have an advantage of having 2 games in hand, their latest 2-0 defeat against bitter rivals Paris Saint-Germain has pushed them further away from the podium in Ligue 1, now 21 points behind current leaders Lille and 18 points behind PSG, currently 3rd. It has now been a week since Villas-Boas was laid off by the management, a few hours after his media release, during which he confided to having tendered his resignation. Since then, the decision makers at Marseille have been actively finding a successor to the Portuguese tactician. Lucien Favre, Rafael Benitez and Mauricio Sarri were all reportedly approached by Marseille, but none of them agreed to join OM, and we suspect that it has a lot to do with how the ownership is now running the club. For now, it is Jorge Sampaoli, currently stationed at Atlético Mineiro, is in pole position to replace AVB. Sampaoli has been in football management since 2002 after ending his career as a player. He started his managerial career in Peru, where he managed 4 clubs between 2002 and 2007. The Argentinian coach, targeted by OM, has gained his managerial experience by working for clubs in different regions, including Deportivo O'Higgins in Chile, Club Sport Emelec in Ecuador, the Professional Football Club of the University of Chile, Santos Futebol Club in Brazil, and Sevilla in Spain most recently. Sampaoli is said to be a firm favourite to take charge as their manager, but OM could go for a plan B if they fail to land the 60-year-old Argentinian. According to sources, the management at Marseille is also looking at the profile of Walter Mazzarri. In view of the crisis that OM are going through, Mazzarri could calm things down by doing a counterweight, by coordinating the relationship between the players, the coaching staff, the management and the supporters who still like him very much in France. The 59-year-old is a coach with an iron fist. Known for implementing great tactical culture to the team, he's someone who has a lot of experience and proven ability to put a team back on track after a rough patch. It's time for OM to call on someone of such profile, with a lot of experience at high-pressure clubs and an ability to install a real pattern of play which is solid and efficient. In addition, he has the advantage of being available at this time of the season. The former Inter Milan manager's possible arrival would see Fabrizio Ravanelli, former OM player between 1997 and 1999, back to Marseille in a role that remains to be defined, possibly in the backroom staff. On a sporting level, the future looks uncertain after the dismissal of the coach, but it's especially the depth of the divide between the management of the club and its fans that worries. So, whether it's Sampaoli or Mazzarri, whoever takes this job must have to try to bring the supporters and the management back on the same page. In this context, the club's senior figures who are still respected by the supporters can play an important role in diffusing the crisis and maybe restore the team's pride that's taken quite a hit in the last few weeks.